Welcome back, Seekers. In this part, we move on to the fifth law of manifestation. If you are new to the channel, follow the link below to start the series from the beginning. We give step-by-step instructions on how to develop your creative visualization abilities, cleanse your energetic and psychic field, protect yourself from negative influence, harmonize and activate the elemental forces within you, and manifest your goals and desires in the world. Please like and subscribe to help the channel grow so we can continue to produce this work. Without further ado, let us continue with the occult classic, Getting Material Things Through Creative Visualization by Ophiel.
Occult Law Number 5. Occult Law of Technique of Limitation. One of the main parts and the most essential part of a true magical operation is the part which is called the limiting of the object of the operation. What does this mean? It means, first of all, magical operations involving as they do the forces of the inner planes deal only with forces. Inner plane forces are subject to inner plane laws and are certainly not subject to physical plane laws. This fact practically everyone knows, of course, but few persons realize the implications of that fact. Basically, when you deal with inner plane forces, you are dealing with forces that have no confinement of any kind. Two inner plane forces occupy a single space at the same time. Inner plane forces fly off in all directions at once. Time, as we know it, is not the same for them. They exist both start and finish at once, beginning and end at once. Now, do you see why it says in the Bible, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end? And yet, in order to obtain your outer desired physical end plane results, you have to work with inner plane forces first. And so, to handle these inner plane forces, you must know something about their nature and how to work them. Dion Fortune did say something about it, but did not explain the full implications. You have much to learn, and I will give it to you in time, and as we go along. But for the present, all you have to know is, at the start of any magical operation, a limit must be set to designate the extent of what you want to accomplish in that particular operation. Unless you do this, you are going to have trouble in getting the forces to make the transition from the plane of force to the plane of form and stay there. You are able, by means of ordinary mental magical daily operations, to contact and gather forces together quickly. But unless the gathered forces are quickly conducted into a form, here on this physical plane, they will fly off as fast as they are gathered. The object desired by you in your visualization work is a form that limits the forces that your work gathers. Now appears two of those seemingly endless factors that influence magical creative visualization work, and I trust that you are not going to blow up at their endless appearances. We will come to an end of them sometime, surely at the end of the book. It is the lack of knowledge about these things that makes our work so futile when it comes to helping ourselves through magical work. Well, we might as well get it over with. It is a law of the inner planes that once you have succeeded in getting an inner plane force to work for you, or to flow into your life the way you want it to work, this force then has a tendency to keep on flowing working. And this flowing working will keep up long after you or any other operator has achieved the original objective of the original starting of the flowing working. I note an apparent contradiction in the above and what I said before, but there is none really. I told you that inner plane forces do not operate the same as physical plane forces. It is true that inner plane forces can be gathered together quickly, and they do and can fly away as quickly. But with long persistence and other unconscious magic techniques, a person can succeed in getting the forces to flow for him, and then they keep on flowing. This automatic overflow can cause as much trouble and disappointment in results as no flow at all can cause. The simplest form of trouble this overflow can cause is to create a condition of tension in you after you have received the original thing visualized for, and in this tension you are vaguely dissatisfied with the whole creative visualized matter operation, and you feel that you want to go on demonstrating the same thing object over and over. And the other factor is, many or some people do yield to that continual flowing in pressure and go on accumulating the objects first wanted beyond all reasonable need of them. This happens in the case of people who were once very poor and in great need of money a large part of their life, and who, by a sort of mental, natural, personal, creative visualization system pertaining to themselves, as explained before, started money coming to them. But having set no limit to their objective, at least for this one visualization creation, the incoming flow, once started, kept on coming, and in the end, the incoming flow took over their lives, and they continued to do nothing but get money. All their other objectives in life were lost sight of, and some of these people actually starved to death because they could not control the incoming flow of money to divert some of it to spending patterns. They were gripped by the power of the forces they had set in motion. They could not spend the money for what they had originally wanted it for, a good time to be had in and out of life. In the paper this morning was a story of a woman who dropped dead on a San Francisco street of starvation, and over $1,000 was found on her person by the police. Another example of this sort of thing is the story by Charles Dickens of Ebenezer Scrooge. This man turned to the making of money because of a great love disappointment in his life, and he felt he needed money to make up for what he had lost. Scrooge, having gotten a flow of money started his way, was not able to control it thereafter, and the massing of money took over his life to the exclusion of all else. This concludes the theoretical discussion of the occult law of limitation. So, for the time being, what has to be done to make your creative visualization work come out right? The first thing to do is to figure out exactly what object or thing or circumstance you want to bring about or acquire by creative visualization practices. Having made this decision, you then sit down and write out in exact detail describing the object or circumstance desired and stating clearly that this is all that you want from this one operation. Make the end of the operation as clear as the beginning. As an example, let us assume that you are working for a piece of carpet as the Paris rag picker was. You would write this down on paper exactly what you wanted and what you wanted it for. You can also add a description of how you expect the carpet to be used and how you expect it to feel in use. This part is important, more of this later. Now conclude your writing by pronouncing some statement such as, "And for the purposes of limiting the effects of this operation, I hereby state that the sole physical desired result of this operation is this piece of carpet, and also for a psychic result I expect a deep satisfaction from the use of this piece of carpet.
The law of limitation is what contains our desired object or situation so that it provides what we require in a beneficial and satisfying way. We will give you some examples that we have witnessed with many students of magic and the occult who seemingly do a successful working to attain their desires, but never actually solve their problems with their magic. One such example is a lady who did a working to find a husband and in 5 years managed to accomplish 3 divorces. And another case of a man who used occult techniques to defeat his enemy, then found himself with more enemies that now filled his life after the initial one had been vanquished. Ophiel eloquently explains this inner law, where the force we call into our lives keeps on working long after we need it. And the way to solve this is to identify the underlying condition that you need satisfied through the operation. For example, if the lady doing the working had not simply visualized having a husband, but instead visualized a husband for the purposes of enjoying loving and happy companionship, or whatever she was seeking to fulfill through marriage, then the inner forces would have continued to flow in more love, happiness, etc., through the form of the marriage, rather than working on bringing more and more husbands, which of course means that one marriage has to end for another husband to manifest, and so on. And that only brought her more sadness. And in the case of money, the occultist should have in mind what they need the money to fulfill. Is it freedom from debt? To provide for all needs and some extra for leisure? For enjoyment, freedom and adventure? For pleasure and luxury? For status and power? Then, through the money, these qualities will keep flowing into your life for your satisfaction. In the difficult case of vengeance, what is the purpose? Is it to bring justice and peace? Then the occultist should have limited the operation to satisfy that particular grievance to the purpose of restoring justice, harmony, and peace in his life. We advise our students to limit their operation by accompanying their creative visualization operation with a simple statement, such as, "For the purposes of bringing or satisfying," and then inserting the conditions they want the desired object or situation to bring into their lives, such as love, abundance, joy, satisfaction, peace, and so on. The visualized object or situation is the form through which all those qualities will flow, in ways that benefit and satisfy you, and it is important that your manifestations satisfy and fulfill you, as opposed to turning you into a hungry ghost who is never satisfied. You build your life through fulfillment of one goal, and then advancement to the next, and not through getting stuck in an endless loop. If you have any questions or comments regarding this, please do not hesitate to comment below. Keep performing your daily rituals and crafting the life that you desire. Next time, we will discuss the 6th law, the law of binding. In the meantime, arise and awaken.